Hello, everyone, and welcome to Court of Swords. Is it?
Yay!
I'm in a rainbow universe of happiness and... Oh, God. Help. Help. It's too happy here. I hope everything's still good. It's really weird to be on a show and not have a green screen, I gotta say, of Court of Swords.
Yeah.
I'm breaking immersion all over the place. It's okay. Yeah, Adam, I guess for you it's pretty normal.
It does now, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess first off, I'm not at home for everyone watching on YouTube and on Twitch. So if the audio sounds different than normal, that's because it's a completely different setup that I put together to do a full-on production like this, which was not... Let's just say it's not set up like it is at home. We'll just go from there. So I'll be fiddling with audio and stuff like that. This microphone is really fucking with me. Mike, I think, or Max, I think this is the same mic as you. Maybe it looks similar.
Looks like it.
Yeah,
I have the same one too.
Okay.
Yeah, is it AT2035?
I think so. Yeah.
It's the common one that pretty much everybody uses.
Yeah, I'm talking into the side of it, so I think that's right. It's just not dialed in for my voice at all. So
Yeah, if you have to aim the Audio Technica logo at yourself.
okay. Yeah, we're doing that.
It should be fine. Yeah,
I've got this. I don't want to pick it up because I've got it's a crazy mic stand. We've got chains and everything here. Is this picking up in camera?
Jesus Christ!
Yeah,
Did you steal that from Aerosmith?
Yeah, this is actually Steven Tyler's. No, Tyler Perry. Steven Tyler
Perry. You got it. Tyler Perry.
Oh my lord!
Tyler Perry's Aerosmith family get together.
Yeah,
I love Tyler Perry and Aerosmith. He's great.
yeah, he's my
I
favorite.
was gonna Steve Perry though. Steve Perry is my favorite Aerosmith singer.
That's true. That's very true. That's very true. Fans of Aerosmith are dying right now. They're actually it's dead. I've also got my character sheet on an iPad because I don't have enough I'm down to 3 monitors, you guys. I don't know how you do it. I seriously don't know how you survive with 3 monitors. There's not enough.
How many do you usually have?
6.
It's like 6, yeah.
And it's perfect.
Jesus.
You got an entire monitor for your character sheet. You got a full screen of Roll20 so you can capture that. You got a full screen of Skype so you can capture that. Full screen of chat so you can monitor issues. Full screen of XSplit. Then you got Twitter and Skype full screen so if you need any updates from the world at a flash, at a glance.
Little known fact, JP's keyboard, he's never touched the Alt or the Tab key.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. No, I got rid of that shit. I tossed it out. Yeah, it's
Full
done.
screen everything.
Well, also I have big enough monitors that I split things on one screen. You know, I have a window for
I could see
the map and for chat and for everything.
But Windows is so stupid when you try to I just want to double click.
You can
and be
just end
done.
the sentence there.
Yeah. No, you're true. Yeah, you're so true on that. The reason, by the way, that audio sounds shit to you guys is because Windows won't accept a stereo microphone because it doesn't understand what the fuck that is. So it just doesn't see a signal. So that's why you guys are I've got 4 mics in front of me right now. Let's just say that.
Oh, so they're not hearing you the way we're hearing you?
You're right. They're hearing me through this, but you guys are hearing me through a blue snowball. Which sounds like shit because if I do this, it probably is really obnoxious and loud. So I won't be doing that as much as possible.
Oh yeah, you sound really good on the stream. I just turned it up.
Yeah,
you sound fine on the stream.
It sounds fine. There's also no compressor, so Zeke, chill the fuck out today, okay? All right. And Dan, you're a wild child. You got to calm down. Okay.
I'll try.
Yeah, just
I'm
keep it chill.
self-compressed. All right.
Okay. Good. Just keep it quiet. What have you guys been doing? Zeke, I saw you were playing. Did you do any more getting over it yet?
No, I have not yet.
Okay. All right.
No, that's gonna be just straight up viewer bait if I ever play it again. That's all it's gonna be. It's just gonna be me hate fucking the game for however many hours I can stand it.
Yeah.
And then I'll shut it off again. Like the first and only time I played it. I mean, we'll talk about it at length tomorrow, but
yeah.
For the last half an hour, I don't think I said more than 3 words.
Mm-hmm.
I even shut the cast off without saying goodbye. I was just like
everyone that came into the channel when I was streaming, it was just like, how are you so calm? Like you're one of the most rage fueled people of all time, but you're just calm as fuck right now. It's like, I don't know. That game zens me out, man.
I
It
think
hit
there's
him
a,
in- yeah.
I think there's an arc, right? Like there's games that make you mad in a like I'm gonna get upset kind of way, and there's games where you're so mad you can't even get upset. You're just like, fuck this game.
But
Like just
I don't.
fuck.
It's such a weird thing because like I feel when I mess up in that game, it is not the game's fault, and I think I'm the only person to ever have played that game that feels that way. Because I know like Dan absolutely hated playing it from what, at least what you tweeted me. I don't know if you feel differently now, but
Oh, I have words for the developer if I ever meet the person.
I mean, he said in his video that he could have made something that you would have liked, that would have made sense. Like it was meant to upset you.
There could be a couple goddamn checkpoints, just one or two to have a little mercy.
yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
And instead
Just
there's
one or
like
two.
instead there's like backwards checkpoints, right? Like there's
Yeah. There's
Well,
base
I'll
where
say-
you'll send you back to the beginning. Yeah.
Well, I'll say this: like I do a lot of weird games from time to time, and there's a lot of people who come into my channel and they're watching me play these games, and they'll say in chat like, "Man, you're giving this game way more of a chance than I ever would have," and that's like my sweet spot. So I understand like where JP is coming from with this game. Like he zens out like with
Yeah.
this particular game, and it's really been difficult for me to realize over these past however many years I've been streaming that I have to know my limitations and my skill limitations and that kind of thing. And I just refuse to recognize that.
the way I explained it to my chat is I don't get mad at games. I get mad at people. And so if I play like Overwatch, I just turn into the shittiest person of all time. But if it's like Super Meat Boy or Cuphead or any of those games, like I don't get too tilted, at least nowhere near what I do in Overwatch for sure. So
I think there's a process too when you're playing a game with chat open where you're playing the game, something bad happens in the game. Internally, you're like, okay, that's fine. I can do this again, but your eyes drift over to chat and you see, and then you're like, ugh.
so
Because
here's
that's the thing that happens too when people are like, cool, you suck. You're bad at this. Good job. You're making a fool of yourself. What are you
Dude,
doing?
The best part about getting over it is you mute the game, you make sure you can't hear the fucking announcer, and you just put on like really stupid and bad like motivational shit. You play Let's Hear It for the Boy. You play like
Eye of the Tiger on repeat.
I never did Eye of the Tiger. That's too easy. It's too
Dude.
easy of a song. I need
From
it.
playing
Yeah. Go ahead.
from playing Bashi, I have a motivational song list like on YouTube, like
Yeah.
a motivational playlist that has like 30 songs of
Dude,
just like,
oh my
you're
God.
gonna do it.
I
Go get them.
There was one point I got to the farthest I've been is the bucket. If you've played the game, you know what that is. If you've watched streams, you kind of know what that is. And I put on a mega mix of the Rise song from Batman, and that was a mistake because it made it so much more intense than it has any. It was just the worst. Like my hand was physically shaking as I was playing. I couldn't make the jump at all. And I was just thinking like, man, Batman would do this shit. But I just kept failing just over and over.
Yeah,
Then
but you're
I-
not Batman.
Then I failed.
And you'll never be
Yeah.
Batman.
Then I fell down. I was like, well, all right. I'm not getting back up right now, Mr. Bruce. So I quit. I also like, have you heard Super Saiyan 3D? Have you ever heard that song?
No, I don't think so.
You guys should Google Super Saiyan 3D, and I guarantee you in the first minute, you're going to be hype as fuck. It's the best hype song of all time. You got to play it real loud, too. It's the best. And then there's a lot of weird, like, workout motivational videos out there. I was listening to this one, and it's kind of just nonsense. They're just saying, like, shit to, get you fucking psyched up. And this guy was talking about his father. And he was talking about how when he was a kid, whenever he would fall, his dad would literally pick him up. And he kept screaming, pick him up, into the mic. He just kept saying, like, pick him up. Pick up your goddamn son. Pick him up. And sometimes I got too old and I got too big and he couldn't pick me up anymore. But he picked me up emotionally. I just like lost it at that entire. It was great. Motivational stuff makes me laugh. So that's why I'm enjoying playing the game. You should play it some more. It's good times. Max, did you finish Mario? I know you're playing it.
I sure did.
Yeah.
Yup. Well, I mean, I got to the End Kingdom. Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the Mushroom Kingdom.
Whoa, that's
It's not really that big of a spoiler. You kind of get a
You get a
glimpse at
preview
it
of it,
earlier.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I beat the game. I didn't like 100% or anything like that because I don't really do that very often. It's too time consuming. But super fun game, phenomenal. I loved it. It was great. Did you finish it too, Adam?
Not yet. I'm like
Okay.
right at the end. I think I have 1 or 2 more worlds left. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been
yeah.
too busy fucking trucking turnips around to finish the stupid game. It's so good though.
Oh,
I
okay.
noticed this is the first game I've been playing Mario with my like the Pro controller or whatever. This is the first game that has started to generate the like breaking the controller down Nintendo
Ooh.
64
A
dust.
little bit. Yeah. Right.
Nice.
Like it's yeah. Because all the other games I played, you don't really use the sticks that much, but this is very
No.
much like a Mario 64. Lots of running around, kind of janking on the
I
thing.
forget a lot of times when I'm playing it, like that I'm playing a Switch game.
Mhm.
Like it feels more like a console, like fucking hardcore kind of. Yeah, like shit. This is Mario. This is old school Mario, like 64 kind of stuff. No, that game's fucking great. It's a perfect blend of nostalgia, but not too much nostalgia, with new characters and new like creatures and things that have really cool abilities that you're like, well, you're not like first you're like, who the fuck's this guy? At least that's how I was at the beginning of it, and then I'm like, oh fuck, this is cool. So you got excited like when you saw the new abilities and like different creatures that you haven't seen before in different Mario games, and it
Yeah.
became like significant. And all of them are all like well designed into the world and kingdom with obstacles that you have to overcome. It wasn't just like, hey, this guy can do this thing. Isn't that cool? It's like, oh, you need that. Like you do. So
Yeah.
I thought they did a really good job of making the worlds, each individual world, feel like its own different thing. Like some of the worlds are very open, you can wander around, like the map, and you can pick up stars or moons as you go, and then others are much more focused and feel more like levels. Yeah, it's cool.
That game had me at the T-Rex at the beginning. Once you,
Yes,
I think it had most people at
that
the T-Rex.
moment is very like
what the I mean, that was very conscious. It's like, you can be a motherfucking T-Rex. A little hammering home, like, yeah, you can be like
Those-
probably more than what you thought you
Yeah.
could be in
those
control.
those moments in games are so good. Like there's some of the best ones. Like the early, I mean, even like modern Elder Scrolls games have a good job at this. But I remember playing Oblivion. And it's like the best part of it. The whole rest of the game's kind of not great. But coming up out of that prison and seeing like the whole world laid out in front of you and being like, I could just go anywhere. I could go to any of these places.
Totally. Yeah.
And like that moment where they're like, okay, here's a bunch of bullshit to start the game off, and then they hit you with that, oh, here you go, this is what it's actually about. Those are so good. I love that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's,
The T-Rex is totally bad.
The T-Rex is definitely like, you can be a fucking T-Rex in this goddamn game. You're just like, all right, Mario, let's go. I'm in. You sold me. Yeah, that game is awesome. I'm going like full. I made the decision on Monday because I tweeted out like, should I travel and like play on my Switch? Is this a thing that I should invest time and money into? And everyone's like, just fucking do it. So, as I do, I went and bought some fucking Bose wireless headphones. I've got a Pro controller. I got a USB-C battery pack. I'm ready to fucking go. I'm going to play some Mario on a plane
Nice.
in style. And I'm excited about
There you
it.
go. You get those Quiet Comfort 35s.
Yeah. What? I think those are ones.
dope.
What?
The 25s are the wired ones, and the 35s are the wireless.
These are the wireless ones. Yeah. Yeah. These are
Yeah,
wireless.
they're really
Bluetooth.
good. I've been using them for travel for like about a year, and they're fantastic. They don't sound as good as the ones you have at home, but the noise canceling is like magic. Like I'll just walk around with them turned on, not listening to anything, and it just makes everybody shut the fuck up and go away. Like you can't hear anything.
Yeah, that's
So
kind of
nice.
what I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, those
Yeah,
get
they're
here
cool.
tomorrow. So I'll have them this weekend for the trip to Philadelphia. But yeah,
Nice.
it's good. Dan, what about you? Were you checking out that? Should we even mention the game? I feel like if we do, the entire chat's just gonna get triggered.
the controversial game right now.
Yeah. Did you check the single player out of that controversial
Yeah.
game?
Star Wars Battlefront.
Max.
I oh god, you can't say the word.
Jesus, I wasn't
Yeah.
ready. I'm just
I-
fueled with
You guys
rage.
talking about Star
You
Wars
gotta-
Battlefront,
listen,
right? The one
Max,
made
you
by
gotta-
EA.
Ah!
You got a content warning that shit, man. If you're gonna say things like
We're gonna
that to
get
people.
claimed on YouTube because this is not NC-17 rated now. Thanks a lot, Max.
Yeah,
Go
I
on.
checked that game out this morning and I played and beat the campaign in 5 hours. It was very short. Not very good. It was
It wasn't?
sort of had a couple cool moments, but most of it was just this feels like a multiplayer map with just bots and that's really it. Just you're going through and killing and the story wasn't really that great. So
Yeah.
it was added on, didn't feel really good at all.
Is how would you say on a 1 to 10 scale of Star Wars fanboy, where do you lie? Where are you at in that scale?
Probably like a 6 or 7.
Okay. Are the like the characters in it? Because I know like there's some big Star Wars characters throughout the single player. Is that kind of the entire point to play? Just because you want to be like, hey, I know that guy.
Those moments when you see like oh my god, it's blank. You're like, oh yay, and then you usually get to play as that character for a level, and those are the best parts. And then the all the fillers, like the girl you play as at the beginning, you're just basically every mission is the same. You just go and shoot a bunch of people, and then you get to the end point, and that's it.
Yeah.
Cut. Nothing really all that great.
That's unfortunate.
Oh, was it fun?
It was like if you already bought the game, it's probably worth just playing through. You get like a bunch of credits for the multiplayer if you finish it. So
I feel like if it wasn't Star Wars, it would be very
bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you strip away all like the glitz and glamour of Star Wars.
If the only thing that's good about a game is its license, it's a bad game. Like end of story. Like I hate when people are like that. They're like, well, I'm gonna play it because it's Star Wars, and it's like, fuck that. Like if it's bad, don't play it.
It's true.
Like,
if there wasn't Star Wars, I would not have played it. Once I finished it, I'd be like, I would probably give it a much lower score just because it's Star Wars. It got
like, let me just put on this Darth Vader shaped glove. Okay, now I'm gonna slap you in the face. Get ready. Bam. Ha. But it was Star Wars though, so
I can't.
Darth Vader.
My stance on Star Wars, I'm going to play the single player just because, like you said, because of the fact that it is short, it is Star Wars, and I think I'll enjoy, the fact that it's a Star Wars narrative, and I really do like that world, regardless of whether or not the story is like rock solid or if it's like, And plus, I think the single player, most of us kind of agree that it's I think for me anyways, it's a bonus, right? It's the multiplayer is the core of the game.
Bonus is an interesting way to put that. I would have said perfunctory, but I guess if you want to look at it positively,
see, I would have said that too. But the thing is, I don't know what that word means. So explain it to me.
Like the sound of it.
There was
That's a good word. Yeah.
This is a tangent as a motherfucker, but watching you play Mario the other night, and then you got to the part with the ring. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, Max.
Every streamer has word slip-ups. Okay.
I don't even. What was the word that you were?
It said binding ring, and I said binding.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why my brain decided to just like fart all over.
You're in a rough spot, Gassy. You found yourself in a bend. So
it wasn't even like. It wasn't a mispronunciation, and you still knew what the word was. It was like, what's a bending ring? Like that was an actual.
It's like how sometimes when you read through text, from my defense as a streamer, sometimes you just gloss over text, right? You're kind of like, all right, I'm tired of this text. You just gloss right over it.
I think that's a
and
skill
you just go
that I
super
don't have,
fast over it. That's what happened. Didn't realize what I said, what I read, and I was like, the fuck's a bending ring?
Yeah, it was good.
And I just looked like a complete asshat.
It was good. I enjoyed that.
Anyways.
Yeah. Sorry. Random tangent. Well, let's cut this a little short because we got to talk about how. What are we incorporating from Xanathars into? Court of
So
Swords?
I need to finish reading the rest of Xanathars. I figure we don't incorporate anything until the book's not even like fully released yet.
You want to do next week or the week after?
I was thinking December, like whatever our first show in December, if there's going to be anything. A lot of it is just like character advancement stuff that y'all are past. Like a lot of it is like at third level. I think most of the spells are fine.
Is that stuff still NDA'd, by the way?
No. So they do this weird thing where D&D, like I got access to it prior to the release through Roll20, but I couldn't like talk about it until recently. But it comes out on one date in all the local game stores, and then it comes out like 2 weeks later everywhere, like on Amazon and stuff. And so that's to keep like your local game store from collapsing under the weight of the great Amazonian behemoth. So yeah, lots of people have it already. They don't do PDFs, so it's just the 2 physical versions of it. But by the end of the month, everyone will have had a chance to get a hold of it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll the 3 of you, I'll send you a copy of it when it comes out on Amazon, so you guys can have it. Although I think for Berg it's probably not that important, but for Dan, spell wise, it probably is.
Well, there's some cool stuff in there around like Like spells, especially. I was telling you, Max, about that half orc racial feat. So they added this new thing where if your character is one of the races from the player's handbook, then there are feats you can take at level 8 that might be worth looking at. So there's a half orc one, and there's a couple of other, like if you already have certain racial abilities, then you'll have an opportunity to get these new ones. Mostly though, it's just like a conglomeration of a bunch of other stuff. Obviously, JP, you and I are gonna we'll do a proper video on it. Yeah. I'm not finding it to be as good as I had hoped. The stuff I was most excited about is kind of like, I mean, yeah, we'll go into greater detail, but there's some stuff that I can definitely see the like player end of the game being more interested in. Like Dan, it's clear even on a single, Max, for your benefit, even on a perfunctory glance, it's clear that Toll the Dead is way better than Radiant, than your existing cantrip.
Sacred Flame,
Sacred Flame. We'll go through it and we'll pick out the stuff we want to use.
Don't act like that's a normal word that most people use every day. All right, don't talk down to me.
It's a completely normal word. Come on, man.
I imagine that your toilet paper has word of the day, and you have like a little Rolodex of fucking.
Is that a
shit
thing you
around
can do?
You.
Can you get toilet paper with word of the day?
I am sick of the anti-intellectualism that goes on around here. I'm sick of it.
Of an action or gesture carried out with a minimum of effort or reflection.
Right. Like when I act like I have any respect for you, it's perfunctory.
No, I get that. The thing about that and the way it works so well is that it's just so mutual. You know what I mean? It goes right back and forth. So.
That's true. I did so for folks who didn't get to see this one, I was struggling with a difficult section of Super Mario Odyssey the other day, and Max was just sitting in my chat laughing his ass off.
Oh, that's one of the best things to do.
Which I couldn't even be mad. I was just like, yeah, you deserve this, Max. This is fair. The table has turned.
To be fair, I was paying it forward from JP doing that to me while I was playing Super Mario. That's why I only poked you a little bit, and then I was like, okay, have fun, Adam.
But I mean, quick question: is Mario Odyssey as hard as the bending of Isaac?
I don't know.
Why did we share? Why did you do this to me, JP?
Oh, I love it.
Could it be just a little thing that just stayed in my community and my chat just gave me shit for it?
I love it.
It's funny though.
Just look, just make money on it. Get an emote that says binding, and just make people spam it.
Someone just use that command in chat. What the fuck is it? It's a good thing you're handsome. Blah blah blah. Whatever.
Yeah. yeah. No, it's one of the best. What they should be doing is exclamation point pick them up. That's the best one.
Pick them up.
It's the best one. Yeah. Well, anyways, we're in the thick of it right now, and Ramus is not. I gotta ask Dan, did you watch any of last week?
Nope, I don't. I want my character to not know the characters at all. So
okay.
I didn't watch.
Exciting. That should be fun.
That's good.
That should be fun.
Well, yeah. Before we do anything else, though, let's get goals squared away in case anybody wants to change theirs, and then Ramus, you need to write some. So I'll walk you through doing that.
Okay.
For the other three, did any of you change any of your goals? Or are they the same?
No, I think mine are the same. Let me.
Well, we didn't. We talked about in the Patreon video about goals that we had potentially completed. Was there any that actually had a completion to them?
Yeah. Did anybody? I mean, I guess that's a good question too. Yeah. Did anybody complete a goal from last time?
I think I'm on the path of wishing to learn my Berg is so important to the powers that be, and wishing to find an artifact that could teach us about the creators and caretakers of the plane. With Max's weapon or Berg's weapon and talking to Berg, but it's not completed yet.
Okay. Yeah. So you're still working on those two. So find an artifact to teach you about the creators and caretakers of the plane. Learn why Berg is so important. And then what was your third belief?
We're gonna save that one for the show today.
Okay. All right. I know what it is. Anybody who watched the last episode knows what it is. We'll save it.
Yeah.
Okay. So Berg, are yours still the same?
Yes. Did you write them down? Because I did write them down, and I could have sworn I saved them.
Yeah. No, I got them. I got them here.
You got them. Good. Okay.
I can add them back to your.
Wrote them down.
Yeah, I have a separate.
Thing.
I have a separate doc.
Okay. Cool. Perfect.
So they were heal my arm and restore my health. Find out why bad things keep happening to me.
It's gonna take a while, Berg.
It's such a good goal though. And then finally be free.
Also going to take a while, but yeah.
And then Kalimat, did you resolve any of yours last time?
Not directly. Like the first one, which was the get Solly to laugh, smile, sing, or otherwise show love for life. Mm-hmm. I went up and brought him down and was the catalyst for him like smiling for the first time because I introduced him to Berg and they had a conversation like that, but not directly, I would say.
I think I think because you said you were going to follow that up today. So I think that might be when you complete that goal, is asking me like why I was smiling. Right? Would that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. The other one though, didn't you have one where it's like experience a new thing every day or something like that?
Yes. Yeah. Try something new, exciting, different every day. I feel like you resolved that one.
Yeah.
You can keep it and just do it again. But like meeting the immortal rulers of the city of Brass, I think counts.
Dan, that happened.
I would assume so.
We met the immortals, Dan. That's what you get from.
Do you want to keep that goal, or do you want to write a new one in its place?
I'll keep it for now.
Okay.
After today's session, I think since Dan is here, it will solidify like maybe a couple of different ones that I can move towards in the future
for next session. Okay. So let me see here. So XP for that for resolving that goal is. Sorry, I just have to calculate it. Okay. Okay. 750.
Okay,
cool. All right. So, I know there's a lot of stuff going on. There's some thugs and there's an inn and there's some potential escaping going on, or maybe a fight, but we need to figure out what Ramus is up to. So here's the way it shakes out for the new XP system. Dan, there's more. If you want more detail, go back and watch the beginning of the last episode where I lay it all out. But basically, the way it's going to work is instead of getting experience on a per encounter basis, you'll get experience based on your character accomplishing goals. So you're going to get 3 slots for your goals. Each goal will be basically a statement. You can write it in the first person, but something that your character would say they want to accomplish, like we were talking about. So Berg's goal is heal my arm and restore my health. Sally wants to learn why Berg is so important. Kalimat wants to find out more about his people. So your goals might be to obtain something, to discover something, to accomplish something in particular. And you'll get 3 of those. And when you write the goal, I'll assign it a value. And then when you accomplish the goal, you'll get that much experience. So Kalimat had a goal to try something new, exciting, or different every day, and did so. When you accomplish your goal, you can only do it once. So if Kalimat did like 10 new exciting things, we only check if the goals have been resolved at the end of a session. So you can basically only accomplish all 3 of your goals in one session, but that's not a bad way to go at it too. So what does Ramus want? What do you want for Ramus? I guess. Yeah.
I think the first thing he wants is to recover his soul or figure out the process of recovering the soul from the wizard.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. So, do you want to make it a bigger goal that'll be worth more but take longer? So, like, recover my soul, or I don't know that Ramus even knows the details. It might be better to say, learn from the wizard Inanna what's wrong with me, and like because there's something going on with your soul and whatever. Yeah. And she is like a way to pursue that. Do you want to?
Yeah,
go
let's
that
make
way?
the goal that like talk to the contact that she was supposed to give to me, like and learn more.
Okay, so talk to the wizard Inanna about my soul. Okay, cool. All right, and then you have two other things. What else does Ramus want?
Learn the secrets of how the immortals have cheated death.
Okay. Excellent. Okay. And then you got one more.
Be nicer to Berg.
and Dan, this is something that you can think of mid-session too. You don't have to have all 3 filled out right now. So.
Yeah, that's true.
And another goal I do want to. It's probably better to have a short. No, let's do another long-term goal. I want to recover the artifact that was on my body when I died, the windy orb.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah,
I
yeah.
had that vision, and I still can remember it about what's to come. So I know it's important.
Cool.
It's nice too that the goal system is like they're fluid, right? They can change. They're not bending. So
Yeah.
Yeah, if you just decide to give them up or whatever, yeah, you can do that for sure.
JP heard it.
Okay, there's an actual name for this artifact. I just want to write it down, but I know the thing you're talking about.
I thought you were going to say recover Chuckles, and I was like, damn, that is a deadly ass goal. Don't do it.
Well, Ramus never came in contact with
We're not level 20 yet. All right, we got to get there.
Listen, Chuckles secretly is the last boss of the campaign, so you just wait till he's the dark god of doom.
He's like completely changed and morphed and is completely like consumed by the Mara.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Okay. Great. Okay. So everybody has goals now. That's great. And let's get to it. So we might as well figure out what happened to the three of you, and then we can reunite you with Ramus. So when last we saw Kalimat, Salihafa, and Berg, you were in the midst of the Death's Night celebration, and after a brief interlude with the Immortals, everybody woke up, and the Death Priest that you had harassed earlier, came back with a bounty order for Berg.
Was that harassment though?
I mean, he was trying to be nice, and you were all suspicious PCs, but that's fair. I think that's reasonable.
That was just Zeke. He's just suspicious. He's a cat.
Well, I think I explained it pretty well. Berg is suspicious when people treat him nicely, like he's taken aback by it. That's why he kind of took a second look at him, like, what the fuck?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's reasonable for you to be somewhat paranoid about these things, but yeah, I think the issue at hand here is that you were harboring a known fugitive from the law, and now you're trying to potentially escape. So the scene is the city of Brass, one of the neighborhoods where people live. You are at an inn, a multi-story inn that is currently the site of much reveling, and I don't think this has turned into a big sort of like worried crowd scene. I don't think the crowd is really paying too much attention. There's a bit of a kerfuffle, and there was a guard, but I mean they're parties. Someone might have gotten drunk and caused some trouble, but the crowd, mostly in their black and white garb, their skull face paint, are going about their business. But Kalimat, you've just come back into the inn, and Sally and Berg are there. And what is the plan? Do you want to find another way out through the tavern, like another exit, or do you go upstairs, or what's the plan here?
So I have just bust in the door and avoided a hammer or is it a hammer?
Yeah.
Avoided a hammer to the face, because you're gonna smash anything that comes through the door. And that's where we stopped, right? I didn't. Do they know what's going on?
I think
immediately
so.
After we left, the way we left off is like Berg missed you with his hammer, and then you were like, whew, and then you like, let's go, and you were like leading us elsewhere.
Yep. So that's basically what I'm doing. I'm saying, let's go. I have a plan. There are guards after us right now. Follow me up to my room. Let's go now.
As Berg, I would do so. Yeah, if he has direction. We can't see inside the place right now. So
no, I mean, you don't have to worry about remember, the interior is mostly open. There's a couple of staircases that lead upstairs, and then the other floors are where the rooms are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're on your way upstairs to grab your
Berg
stuff.
follows him.
Yep. Okay. We're following.
Okay. All right. So you head up the stairs, and I think as you are reaching the top of the first set of stairs to get into the area above, you can hear the doors open, and there's a bit of not like a fight or anything, but there's some sound down below where you can hear someone say, like, "We're looking for an escaped slave, a half orc. Where is he gone?" and there's some like talking downstairs as you disappear. So we just see your boots, and then you go upstairs. So where do you go? What do you do?
Well, I tell Sally Hoffa, go to your room, grab your things. I'm going to do the same. And Berg, you come with me into my room.
Very well.
Kalimat, I have all my things.
Well, that's fine then. You come into my room as well.
Okay.
Motherfucker.
So the three of you go into Kalimat's room.
Yeah.
So Kalimat, what does your room look like?
It has like all of like my outfits. Like I have 2 to 3 pieces of each, like pants and shirt and various like accessories like scarves and head wraps or whatever. Because I like to dress for every occasion if I can and that kind of thing. And they're all laid out kind of on the bed. And very neatly, very, they're not wrinkled or anything. He folds them and makes sure they're taken care of. Yeah, it just looks like someone who, like, it looks like a dressing room or like a theater or something. Yeah.
Yeah, because you have different outfits and costumes and okay.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Okay, so you've got all this stuff and it's organized, but like you live in this room. It's not like you're ready to bail at any minute.
Right.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you can hear downstairs more of the sort of ruckus. There's the sound of hard leather boots on the floor as a group is approaching. Maybe you can hear them start coming up the stairs.
All right, so I grab. Let's see here. I have. Yes. Okay. I have rope.
Okay.
So I grab the rope and I give it to Sally Hoffa, and I look around in my pack and I grab out a piece of paper, and it's a forgery. It's a forgery of ownership for Berg.
Okay.
Because I anticipated maybe having this situation, having to explain why I'm with him. So he can possibly get out, and it's very Chewbacca, like Chewbacca and Han Solo, or Chewbacca and Luke, or whatever. So we're gonna, I'm going to ask Berg, would it be all right? You see this? This is a forged document of ownership for you. It's a fake, but I'm going to show that to them. I'm very good at faking these things. If you would allow Sally to tie you up, I'm sure that we could. That I could talk our way out of this, but you have to trust me. If you don't, we should run right now. Tell me right now, yes or no.
You look over at Solly, and I've just got the rope and like a dead look on my face, just ready to go over and tie you up.
We can try it your way, but do not tie it too tight.
You heard him, Solly.
Fight.
You heard him. All right. And I walk out of the room and with the scroll to let them prepare and talk, delay them before they actually open the door and see them like tying up the rope all quickly.
Right. Okay.
So I walk out and I close the door and I have the scroll of the forged ownership document in my pocket.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I mean, I think fairly quickly, like the door is shut, so you just hear like.
Yes.
Do you just come and open the door, or do you shout from the closed door?
I did. Yeah. Yes. One moment, and I immediately go to the door.
Okay. All right. So you open the door. Is this like a little bit and like peek out, or?
Depending on how far they are on the ropes.
Yeah, I think it's fine. They have enough time to tie it.
Okay. Cool. Yes, I open the door with nothing to hide.
So you see two. There's a man and a woman dressed kind of indistinctly. They're not dressed as revelers, but they're dressed in like travelers' clothes. They're both armed. They both have curved swords, and one of them has a rope kind of like tied around his torso, the man. There's two of them, and then there's a member of the city guard, some kind of sub-district guard, not a member of the Aharisa, not one of the like elite guards of the city. And the guard, he looks like he's not from the city of Brass necessarily, like ethnically. Like he has darker skin, he's a little shorter, straight black hair, but he's dressed in the uniform. And he looks up at you, And there's that moment of like he's never seen a Dragonborn before, so there's kind of like the briefest flash of like, oh, interesting. And then he says to you, esteemed guest, I am Officer Ba. These two men are looking for an escaped slave. We would like to take a look in your room.
Well, of course, I can show you that I have this escaped slave right here. And I'm sorry, Adam, 1 second.
Yeah.
Any of these guys, none of these guys were the original, like.
No, the priest is still caught up with the other guards that you sicked on him, like
Okay.
downstairs. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, as you can see, I have the slave, and I have. Let me see here. I have proper documents. They are in my pocket. Which pocket? This pocket right here. There we go. All right. And I pull out the wrong piece of paper, and it's like, oh, that's not it. I'm sorry. Hold on.
So the two goons, so Berg, you and Sully can see this. The two thugs that are pursuing you, they are looking really impatient. They're just like waiting. Maybe the girl like cracks her knuckles, like, all right, come on, let's just get this over with. But the guard is patiently like waiting for Kalimat to produce the paperwork.
Now, can they see me and Berg?
I mean, you're standing in the room, so
Okay.
I presume unless you've made it.
Everyone sees Berg. There's no missing him.
All
Or
right.
you,
Sully,
you're big too. We're both
Sully,
huge.
have you thrown on your cloak? Are you disguised?
Yeah. As he walked over to the door, I definitely disguised myself, and I definitely started to tie Berg up, just a loose knot on his two hands around his wrist.
All right, can you make a disguise check real quick?
Sure. Let me.
Okay. So this will determine whether later Officer Ba remembers there was a turtle man or just a large person.
Now, I'm not proficient with that, so what is that based off of? What is disguise based off of?
It'll be just I say just a charisma check.
Okay.
I think.
Well, that's just a flat D20 for me.
Yeah.
I got a big 6.
Okay. All right. So he will probably remember you were a strange creature, but he's not really here to pay attention. He looks at Berg, and I assume Berg. What do you like? Where's your weapons?
Oh,
You're tied up, so.
Yeah.
I would definitely, as you're tied up, I like reach for your weapon and say, it would look weird if you had this on you, and you were a captor of us.
And I probably yeah, I've given him to Sally Hoffa, like under his cloak, his robes, or whatever the fuck.
Okay.
Whatever makes sense in that form. Yeah, because it wouldn't make sense for Berg to be fully like, I am a prisoner.
Yeah, and Berg, what are you wearing? Are you dressed in? Do you have your armor on?
Yeah.
Did you discard your armor? Because your armor got all eaten by rust monsters, and I don't think you ever got a chance to buy more.
That is
True. Here's an important question though, if this does devolve into combat. Would haste still be going right now?
No, it's been long enough that because haste only lasts what, like 10 rounds?
I'll tell you right now, it lasts.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just asking because we literally went
up to 1 minute.
It's definitely been longer than 60 seconds.
Yeah, it's 1 minute.
Okay. Sure.
Right, which means you have a level of exhaustion, I think.
Here, I'll just paste the spell real quick.
No. Okay, it doesn't.
It's right, it doesn't.
Spell, it can't, it's just for a turn. Okay, so while you were being tied up, I think that's when the haste was over. So you were just kind of reeling for a minute. Okay, yeah, just one turn. All right. So anyway, you're fake bound at the wrists. You're not wearing armor. I'm just checking to see what the cop is seeing.
Also, as the door is opening, I just cast prestidigitation super quick to make it look like I've been in a fight with Berg, so it doesn't just look like he gave himself willingly.
Okay, sure. So Kalimad, you produce your forgery.
Yep.
What is your bonus to forgery? Like if you were to roll forgery, I'm not going to get you to roll. I'll roll.
Okay.
And because you don't know how good it is, right? You know how good you are, but you won't know if it's going to be a good forgery or not.
When choose our time, gain proficiency with the forgery kit. Yep.
It'd be your dexterity and your proficiency modifier.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah, those two together.
Okay, so +7.
Okay. All right. will roll. Okay.
This could very well determine the next 3
Oh,
hours.
he's gonna roll. This is one of those DM not show you rolls.
No,
Yeah,
no, I think,
so-
oh, okay, he is.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna. You don't, because again, you don't know how good this forgery is, right? You
Right,
think
sure.
it's possible, right? You know,
Yep.
you're a skilled forger.
Yep.
But yeah, okay. So you produce the forged papers, and you hand it to him, and he looks it over. And tell me about this forgery. Like, what kingdom did you like? What court did you forge the seal in? What does it say? Are you the official owner? Who signed him over to you? What does this document say? What is the lie that you are telling with it?
The lie that I'm telling with it is that I was bound, or not bound, but I'm in the employ of Kukrit, and he has hired me personally to bring this orc back to him. And I am not a bounty hunter. I am actually an employee of his. I am on his payroll to keep his slaves from running away and capture them back when they do, that kind of thing.
Right. Okay. So this is a document with the seal of the Court of Swords, like legal system on it, because he's technically a slave of the government of the Court of Swords.
Okay.
So
Yeah, because
okay.
me, Ezekiel, is not sure how that works.
But Kalimat would have a pretty good idea. Okay. So he takes it from you, and he looks it over once, and there's a lot of like legalese on it. He scowls, kind of rubs his chin, and one of the bounty hunters clears their throat, like, and he looks over his shoulder, like, "Come on, shut up! I'm trying to read. Patience." He like looks over again, and he looks at you, and he says, This is a very official looking document, government seals and everything. I'm going to have to ask you and your, and he looks over at Sully and Berg, a party to come with me to the magistrate's office. Magistrate Talisha will know what to do.
Oh, but of course. Absolutely.
And yeah, and he says, please, and gestures. And yeah, and he gestures for the hall, like, come with me.
I speak up from the back. Can you confirm that the people outside looking for Berg will halt their actions as we leave?
And he looks at you. I can't promise you how anyone will behave, sir, but the question of whether this bounty is legal or not is still up in the air. So we will let the magistrate decide. I imagine that they will want to come with us as well to find out the legality of the situation. We can all go to the magistrate's office together.
A group of bounty hunters at the same time?
He nods. Yes, of course. Why would they not come with us?
I just worry that, well, you know best.
And he nods like, yes, I do. Thank you for noticing. And he says, honored sirs, this way, please.
And okay, so the guy who I'm talking to he's not one of the guards of the city.
Yeah, he's a city guard.
Okay.
They're varying, like, he's a district guard. He's not. So the city of Brass is big enough that it has its own kind of like FBI that are the Aharisa.
Okay, sure.
He's not that. He is a sub-city guard of this neighborhood, and he's going to take you to a magistrate of the neighborhood who knows like legal documentation and will deal with it.
Okay. If I may ask, since this is a matter for me, you, my companions, and the magistrate, do the bounty hunters need be present?
He says the office of the magistrate is a public office. They are welcome to attend these meetings as they will. If we confirm your documentation and the slave does indeed belong to you, then the bounty has no purpose. It has been fulfilled, and we will have it annulled. If it proves to be more complicated than that, then the magistrate will adjudicate the situation.
Well, you see my problem here, because I mean, no offense to present company or anything, but bounty hunters tend to be a devious lot at times. I mean, of course, their job calls for it from time to time. But they could be laying an ambush for me and take my charge from me for the bounty and leave me dead in an alley and you dead in an alley.
He blinks at you and he says, I assure you, sir, you are safe in my company. As for these two and their associates, I'm sure they'll behave themselves. Won't you, gentlefolk? And they both kind of sneer. One of them, the woman is looking at you like, I'm going to fucking cut your throat at the first opportunity. But the guy nods like, of course, officer, yes. And he puts his hands out like he's like,
we will go with you.
They're citizens too.
We will go with you, but we should not wait much longer. This is Berg, of course. He has grown tired, but that will wear off. Bounty hunter secret. And I wink.
Yeah, he looks at you, Berg. And do you have your mask on, Berg? Or like, what do you look like in this situation?
Yeah, I think Berg probably has his mask on. Berg's kind of just been going along with it, like hunched over, like being very motionless and just, trying to not, arouse any suspicion. Perhaps every time the word slave has been said casually at him, he like clenches his fist a little harder. Mm-hmm. But outside of that, no, he's kind of just been playing along, trying to let the others do the talking as he often does, because he's muscle. He's not there for his brains.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So the group of you leave the room, and we wipe to the office of the magistrate. So I think that at this point, the people who are here, you've rejoined with the death priest. It's the death priest, the two bounty hunters that were with you in the room, and then the cop, right, Officer Ba, and the group of you. And you're in an office. There's too many of you for how small the office is, but you're in an office in a local police precinct, and there's a woman here. She's wearing leather armor that is just like brown, undyed. She's got a gray sash that seems to indicate her rank, and then on her collar a couple of metal clips that indicate her rank as a magistrate. She has a gold pin of the Court of Wands like sigil, and that's pinning up her little sash, and that's her magistrate's mark. She's in her probably like early 40s, hair starting to gray at the temple. She has the kind of amber colored skin of the rural population of the Court of Wands. And her office is crowded with piles of papers, a bunch of books. She has a bookshelf jammed with books and like case files kind of out on her desk. Through the window in the back of her office, you can still hear revelers outside, fireworks going off, people shouting and laughing. The Knights festival is still going on, and Officer Ba is handing her the forgery that you gave her. That you gave him, and she's looking at it. Are you saying anything, or is there a moment of like tense silence in the room?
No, I'm letting her read it. I'm not showing any nervousness or anything like that. I'm not like nervously prattling on. I'm trying my best to look like, can we just get on with this, and so I can get my money, take this guy back.
Yeah. So the story you were telling with this forgery is that you have an official dispensation above and beyond the bounty, but an official dispensation for the court. It's like a letter of marque that you're particularly here to like hunt down Berg, and that you've taken capture of him.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're bounty hunters, but you're like a state-sponsored like detective or privateer or whatever, right? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So she's looking at it, and you can see her eyes moving back and forth on the lines, and she kind of clucks her tongue, and she's like, and like sets it down on the table. She turns her back on you, and she pulls down a book from one of the shelves and puts it down on the table, and you can see that it has the sigil on the front burned into the cover of the Court of Swords. We've seen it before. It was on It was on your first JP, your first character. It was the like badge thing that you had.
Right.
And she opens the book and she starts to flip through it, and she's looking for something. And let me roll to see.
Adam,
It's so funny. Oh, go ahead. Continue.
Well, I was gonna say when we walked in, did I notice any like arcane runes or anything that would basically not allow magic to be cast in this room or in this building or anything of that nature, or does it seem okay?
Make a perception check.
Let's see. Sorry, I'm having to do this on an iPad and it's not
It's okay.
super conducive. That's Firebolt. Perception. All right.
I forget off.
Okay, you got a 4.
I got a 4.
So not.
Did he
so
have
much.
advantage?
No.
For the love of God, did he have advantage?
So yeah, we see her open the book, and we watch her going through and comparing something on the letter to the page, and she closes it quite briskly. Right, she finds what she's looking for. She closes it, and she looks up and stares you right in the eyes, Calumet. And before she speaks, let's take a break.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see if we're all about to die.
I like I'm going to join you.
Yeah. All right. Let's take our first break here of the day. Still got 3 hours left to go on Court of Swords. We will be right back with more. We'll see you in just a bit.